Hello everyone, it's Untitled Chapter and welcome to a new The Sims 4 speedbuild house building video. So today I'm building a house called Holiday Dream in The Sims 4 and then the neighborhood Oasis Springs, which is kind of the more desert-like and holiday world in my opinion. Well, not really the holiday world actually, that's Granite Falls, but it, you know, with the sun and kind of the warm climate, it kind of feels like a holiday world for me, which made that I decided to call this Holiday Dream because this is really kind of like a holiday house for a family who just wants to get out of the city and just relax in kind of a relaxed atmosphere in like a cool villa, which is kind of what this house is. I wanted it to be kind of a small house to start with actually, but it turned out to be quite a nice, just big holiday house or just family house kind of, which turned out to be a holiday house in my opinion. But yeah, in the end it has 2 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms and like a very spacious kitchen and living room in my opinion, and I think it turned out to be pretty nice. There's a cool pool and I used very many pillars. Actually, many people say that I actually use pillars very often and they're not like saying that it's a bad thing, so I'm happy with that because I actually use them in this video as well, just because yeah, it just creates a very cool effect in my opinion and really makes the house much more detailed, which I personally like because a detailed house looks better in my opinion. So also I did something special with the windows and the pillars kind of to create something different. I always try to add like something different in every speed build. It doesn't always work, you know. Back in the day with the modern concept house, when I used the how do you call it, the shelves to create shutters for the first time. When I did that, it was kind of something new, and you know, trying to create whole walls using just using a roof was something new. And those are all the things that are kind of different that I tried, and I think in this house I really tried some different things as well. Here you see me adding that wide roof kind of part, that's new, and also that thing with the windows and the pillars is newer. At least it's new for a house. I also used it in the shopping center that I built in the Let's Build a Shopping Center series. But yeah, I think yeah, it would look pretty cool in this house as well, and I think in the end it did indeed look pretty cool. So you can download this house from the gallery. You can search me using or searching for Origin ID Dutch Sims Master, that's it. Or you can search using the hashtag Dutch Sims 4 Master, and then you'll be able to download this house and get it in your game and maybe play around with it, or you know, renovate it, whatever. Yeah, you can actually pretty much do anything with it. You can even delete it, but not from the gallery, of course. But yeah, here on the second floor, I actually tried to add kind of the same concept as I did on the lower floor, and I kind of wanted it to be different than what it in the end looked like. But yeah, that didn't work. The game just technically didn't let me do that. So because it was actually kind of disappearing when I actually went up. So that's a disappointment, but in the end I think it turned out to look nice, even though I couldn't do that, so it didn't really matter in the end. So yeah, please let me know what you think of this house. You will be able to see the full end result at the end of the video, and I'm very curious what you think of it. You know, just leave a comment. I always read the comments, so it is really worth writing a comment. If you have any tips or if you have any suggestions for me to build, please let me know as well, because in that way you might actually see that being built in one of my speed builds or let's build in the future. So that would be pretty cool. And also I'm planning on actually doing a Q&A very soon, so please let me know if you have any questions, or just, you know, put some questions in the comment section down below, and then I pick out some or maybe all of them. It depends how many questions I get, and then I'll simply answer those questions in just a little video, a Q&A video as you would call that. So yeah, just leave those questions in the comments down below, and then I'll do my best to answer them, and in that way you kind of get to know me in a better way, or at least that's what I thought would be a cool idea maybe. Many others do Q&As as well, so I thought, why wouldn't I actually do one? I think a very long time ago I actually did one, but that was like a very long time ago. I think when I had like 2,000 subscribers, so many things have changed since then. So yeah, I thought it would be time to do a new Q&A. and I didn't want to like make a separate video asking you for your questions for the Q&A and then, you know, making another video doing the Q&A. I thought it would just take too many videos, kind of, you know, it just wouldn't look good on the channel, kind of, you know. You just want to have entertaining videos and not just videos like updates and asking you for questions for the Q&A. So I thought we'll just ask it in a speed build. Many people watch these, so in that way I think I'll reach the biggest audience. So yeah, lately I've actually also uploaded 2 news videos, or at least that was this week. For those of you watching it this week, it was this week. And that's because a new stuff pack has been announced, or at least when I made the video it had been leaked that it would come, and now it has actually been confirmed that the luxury party stuff pack is coming, or new information on that is coming next week. And it has been expected that the stuff pack will actually release next week as well, though that's not sure yet. And yeah, what it actually is, we don't know yet, but I personally expect that it's kind of like late night where you have like luxury items and things like jacuzzis and new bars and all that kind of stuff. So I personally quite like it, and that way I can build like way more luxurious buildings. I hope there will be many modern objects, and yeah, of course you'll stay updated when you follow my channel, so just subscribe if you want to stay up to date with that latest news on the new stuff packs or anything else. And also I actually uploaded a video about a new mod that had been released, which is the Go to School mod, which allows your Sims or your Sims kids actually to go to school. If you have the Sims Forget to Work, that would work. Yeah, badumch. So just you need to have the Sims Forget to Work in order for it to work, which is kind of a strange sentence, but you know, I'm sure that you'll understand, smart subscribers. But yeah, if you want to know more about that, you can check out that video as well. And I actually also uploaded a new Google SketchUp video, or just SketchUp, it's not Google anymore. And yeah, that was really cool as well. I really put much effort into that one, and many people seem to like it. I actually built a skyscraper in SketchUp, so I'm sure that if you like these videos and you kind of like designing videos and, you know, buildings, then you'll definitely like that one as well. I'll put a link in the comment in the description. I'll probably forget it, but I'll do my best to not forget it. And then you can actually check it out because it's really cool, and I'm planning on actually uploading more of those. I always say that, but this time I am actually planning on uploading more of those. I'm actually planning on making like a medieval kind of water villa in SketchUp, which is something I've never tried before, so I'm very curious what that will look like. And I'm actually planning on making more skyscrapers as well. So yeah, that was really cool actually, so you can check that out. It's on my channel as well. So that was kind of the update on the latest videos I've uploaded. Obviously, of course, the Let's Build and the Let's Play are still continuing as well, which many people seem to like, or quite many actually. So yeah, that's basically it, I guess. I also did the 10-minute build question or build challenge, which I uploaded like last week, and it kind of went wrong. It was like a total fail actually, but oh well, you know, I kind of tried to do the challenge at least. So yeah, even though many people actually thought that I didn't even try because the video was 19 minutes long, I did really clearly explain that I actually wanted to try to do the 10-minute build challenge, but it would probably not work out. So therefore I would actually finish a house, which would be better than just having an unfinished house, but a 10-minute build challenge. So I tried to do the challenge, but when it didn't work out, I just wanted to finish the house so you could actually have like a cool starter home for your Sims. But people didn't seem to appreciate it, and I honestly don't really care about it anymore. It was just annoying that I actually did say what the idea I had behind it was in the video, but people just didn't seem to really listen to it. But oh well. I'm very curious what the luxury what was the name again? Luxury party stuff pack. That's it. What that will be like. I hope there will be like many items. I kind of wonder about the price as well, because you know, game packs, which also provide new gameplay, cost $20 or 20 euros, which is kind of, yeah, it's an understandable price, because you get new items, new, you know, clothing, stuff, hair items, and you also get new gameplay and even like a small new world. So with a new stuff bag, if that would cost $20, you would either get like very many items, which would be cool, or they just don't make the stuff packs like $20, they only make them 10, which would be perfect, and then you just get like a normal amount of stuff, which is kind of what I prefer. I think it really depends on how many items you would get for $20, because $20 is kind of much for a stuff pack, I think. Whatever, then it doesn't even really matter how much items you get for it. Many people just see $20 as quite much money for a stuff pack, and of course those expansion packs are pretty expensive as well. They're $40, but you do get very many new items and gameplay opportunities with that, so that's cool. So here I actually start adding the wall paintings to the house, which I guess in the end it did turn out to look nice. I'm sure about that, but it was kind of hard to choose one. I tried to do something different, and I think it worked out. I actually used blue. It was suggested by the Sims Resource channel on Twitter. They like joked, because normally I use like very natural colors and natural substances, kind of like stone and wood, and they suggested that I would like just make the house like bright blue. So I was like, I could actually try to use blue in the house. So in the end I did, and it actually turned out to look pretty nice. I've never built a house like with blue wood in this way, I think. But yeah, therefore it actually would look nice in Greece, I think. In Greece you have those cool blue colored houses, or at least in some islands in Greece you do have that. And I quite like that, so I think, this modern house would look pretty cool in the beautiful nature of Greece. But for now it's just in Oasis Springs, the fake world of The Sims 4. So here I actually start doing the gardening. I try to actually make like quite a structured garden, kind of making beds for the plants to be in, and furthermore like a good looking grass area, grass field I guess you could say, just to make it structured and modern. And I think in the end it did turn out to look nice. I really didn't know what stone pattern I wanted to do there on the street towards the house, but in the end I did make a decision. But I think I've tried like 20 different patterns, but oh well, that's part of building, I guess. So where are we in the video? We're currently at like 30 minutes already. The interior, I decided to go for something very modern, but I'll talk about that when we are actually at the interior part. So here I'm just adding some plants just in the beds, just regular stuff. I decided to go for some purple plants in there as well. Those came with Outer Retreat, I think. Yeah, I'm sure they came with Outer Retreat. Just like those white plants, and they're really cool. I use them in almost every house just because they look really cool. So, I'm just happy that I used them in this house as well, because they just look really cool. They made the house look better, I think. But if you don't agree, please let me know, because then I might use them. I might not use them that often, but I'm not sure. I just really like them, so probably continue using them. I actually wanted to use that tree like over there, but I thought people are not gonna like the fact that I like built quite a nice looking house, and then I add like an enormous tree in front of it, so you actually don't see anything of the house anymore. So in the end I decided to not do that, but the leaves of that tree just looked really cool, and I like the idea of kind of the tree hanging over the pool. But yeah, in the end I decided to not do it. If you like that idea, just do it in the house when you download it from the gallery, and then you can actually do whatever you want with it. You can like make it pink if you want, just fuck that shit, make it entirely pink. But oh well. Let me see. I'm actually adding like some green stuff. I don't water. What do you call those things in English? I have no idea. Try Google Translate. Just in the middle of the video, just doing some Google Translate. Let me see. Seriously, doesn't. Oh, is it seriously like literally the same? Or lily pads are kind of is what I added, I think. In the water, that's just what I wanted to talk about, or not talk about, that's what I wanted to say. I added lily pads to to the pool, which I would personally never do in my real life house, I think, because I personally like the idea of a pool being like clean, and adding plants in your pool is not the best idea in my opinion, but it's Sims, so it doesn't really matter, and it was possible, and I thought it would look cool, so in the end I did do it. But for my own house, I would definitely not go for that. And personally, I think I would prefer like an even more modern house, because this is quite modern, but at the same time very detailed, and the wood kind of makes it less modern. But oh well, I think in the end it does look cool. And I actually have to change something in the video here, because I'm currently watching it like kind of for the first time, and I noticed that the interior is way too fast, so I'm actually just like literally right now speeding it down. And I hope the speed is better now. Let me see. Okay, this is very irrelevant information for you, but by the way, if you're still listening to the commentary, like at this point, thank you very much, because it's like the 16th minute, and I know that there are people who watch the entire video, but those people don't always like listen to the entire commentary. My commentary isn't that good, not that entertaining, though I feel like this one is going pretty well. Yeah, therefore I thought, I can just edit the video a little bit during the commentary, because something went totally wrong there. It's still kind of sped up, but it's less sped up than it was, because it was way too fast. You've not even noticed it, I hope, because otherwise the editing went wrong. But yeah, by the way, lately I think it was yesterday, I listened back one of my very old videos, one of the first videos I did with commentary. And seriously, the fact that people actually watched that, and that they actually, stayed with me, and they're still like a subscriber right now, is very special, because that commentary was terrible. Honestly, my commentary isn't that good currently either, and my English is just not that perfect, and it's hard to talk for like nearly 20 minutes in a video and just still keep it interesting. But that video was like seriously terrible. It was like almost not understandable. I sounded like a little baby. Yeah, no shit. I was like 12 years old, I think, back then. And now I'm only 15, but it's a little bit older. So yeah, thank you very much for staying, with my channel, if you were subscribed back then. And if you're actually currently still subscribed, or just, if you just subscribed yesterday, thank you very much as well, because it just helps whenever you subscribe. It doesn't really matter. The fact that you did actually subscribe is awesome already. By the way, here I, started doing the entrance area, and then I realized that I forgot to add the door to the toilet. So I had to replace the piano a little bit. But in the end, that idea was actually much better, or that placement of the piano was much better. And yeah, I like the idea of putting the piano kind of under the stairs, because I thought that in that way you would kind of hear the entire piano around the entire house. If that would work in like The Sims, probably not. In real life, I think it would work, but I think at the same time, you hear a piano everywhere around the house anyway, so you don't really have to put it under the stairs for that. But oh well, it's Sims, so it doesn't really matter. Here we're actually starting with the first bedroom of the house. I decided to go for something very basic, and actually used kind of the same style in both bedrooms, also the children's bedroom, just with different wall paintings. Just because in that way it kind of felt more like a holiday house, because you can of course have your Sims live in this house, but at the same time I thought, this is kind of a house where your Sims go for holiday when they're like not working and they go on holiday, just what it is. And then often you see like they have the same style of beds and the same plants in every room, and that's kind of what I went for with this house. And also I just didn't have that much inspiration for the interior, though I think in the end it did look like cool, and it's very modern. So just the fact that the beds and the tables next to the beds are the same, yeah, don't make that this interior is terrible in my opinion. I even added like quite a detailed wall painting, which I normally don't do, or like a detailed children's wall painting. I do often add detailed wall paintings, but like not, in the way that it has been like painted for children. But I thought, I'll just do it once. It might look cool, and it did. So, here we're actually starting with the bathroom. Yeah, there we go. I added a bath, no shit, but this is actually the only bathroom in the house of the two that does have like a very cool jacuzzi, hot tub kind of bath. And the other one doesn't, but it does have like a shower, all the necessary stuff. And the bath is just like for enjoyment. So yeah, we're very close to the end of this speed build. If you watched it all the way up to here, thank you very much. Many people were actually tune in like over here again for the fly tour, which will start in several seconds. But anyways, don't forget to leave a question for the Q&A. And yeah, thanks for watching and I hope to see you back later.